So once upon a time, we had Smallville. Then we didn't have Smallville. Now we have Arrow.
So Arrow is based on the DC character Green Arrow, obviously. It is by the CW network, and it's shown on there in America. Over here in the UK, it's shown on Sky One, or shall be very shortly. And the story revolves around Oliver Queen, who is the Green Arrow. He's the son of a billionaire, therefore a billionaire himself. Gets stranded on an island for 5 years. Comes back and decides he wants to clean up his city. Quite simple premise.
He's Batman.
He's Batman. He was, when they first started DC, he was Batman, and now they've given him a bit of a different story, but he's essentially Batman. Green Lantern.
Batman and Robin Hood.
Yeah. I was about to say Green Lantern. Green Arrow has no powers. He's just very good with a bow. That's pretty much the basis of the show. You preluded to Smallville earlier.
Yeah.
You enjoyed Smallville? You were on and off with Smallville.
I was on and off. It was a weird relationship with me in Smallville.
And do you feel like you're going to have the same weird relationship with Arrow, or...?
Well, so I feel like it's very, very hard for me. It was a mixed bag. This was not a perfect pilot by any means. And actually, I feel like the first 20 minutes, even maybe the first half an hour, was not that enjoyable at all. It felt quite low budget. The acting felt a bit stale. Didn't really care for any of the cast members. It really wasn't, I mean, apart from a few little nods here and there to the DC universe, it really wasn't a strong start.
Mm-hmm.
But as it went on, and when he puts on the costume, when he gets his when we see some action scenes, when we start seeing the little tidbits of plot that are gonna play out over the series, I was a lot more interested.
Okay.
I went through the first episode thinking to myself, I'm not going to watch the second episode. I'm not going to watch the second episode. This isn't a show of the second episode that I'm going to watch. That's not what this is.
I don't need to watch the second episode, so I don't know.
I made up my mind. But as it went on, I thought maybe I will watch the second episode.
That's not too bad.
Because the action scenes were very cool. The parkour stuff was cool. The arrows are cool now.
Arrows are all the rage this year. 2012 is the year of the arrow.
They're very cool, and he's very cool. And I quite like the fact that he was quite bland. It makes me feel like some shit went down on the island. There's some stuff. They guys, Robin Hood meets Batman meets Lost.
I mean, I've got to say, in the first 2 minutes, like that, you see him get taken off the island, and there's a shot of Deathstroke's mask, which is, I mean, that for me was quite cool.
But we're gonna keep going back there.
Like in Lost.
Yeah,
we've got the flashbacks.
The story is gonna keep going back there. There's a little at the end, which was quite exciting. It kind of won me over. I think that this was an okay pilot. As a comics fan, it's done enough to keep me watching a second episode, even though it wasn't perfect. It had some really good, exciting moments, and I was surprised that I kind of quite enjoyed it.
I mean, I have to say, if this show wasn't a DC-based show and a comic book-based show, I would probably stop watching. In fact, I definitely would stop watching, because the acting in it isn't great. His acting isn't great. I mean, he is bland, I do agree with you, in a good way. But
vacant.
He's vacant, yes. But I haven't seen anything else from him yet, which, I mean, I kind of need to see him before and after, like the extreme difference for me to go, well, okay. He's not vacant in the way Christian Bale is in Batman, when Christian Bale's being vacant. But I mean, it's different caliber anyway. I will agree, the fight scenes are excellent, and they're probably the best that I've seen on TV.
They're great.
They're absolutely fantastic, and yeah, the parkour stuff was very cool. Looked like he was doing a lot of that. Which
It reminded me a lot of Hit Girl. There's one scene
in the corridor.
Yeah, which is very reminiscent of that, except there aren't as many cuts.
Yeah, he seems to be doing a lot of stuff himself. Like the bit with the bar, he's doing we get the classic training montage, and he's got this big bit of scaffolding and then this bar that he's throwing in between, and he looked like that was him doing that, and that was quite incredible.
You can open a can of spinach
and then eat it. I don't know what that means. I enjoyed the show.
Do you not think the plot was interesting? The fact
the plot was good. It lost me at the end. I totally disagree. It ended, and I went.
Yeah, it was kind of thrown in. Like, what's the next episode?
I was like, I would have watched it. That almost put me off watching it, but...
You didn't expect this plot. You didn't expect this kind of stuff went down on that island and we're going to talk about it and it's going to be some crazy stuff.
I like that. And I love the references to characters. I like the subtle changes. I like Speedy being the sister now instead of the sidekick, but still we're continuing the drug problem storyline from the 80s. That's very cool. 70s? 70s or 80s. Either. I found that very cool. Again, the action scenes were great. Plot, a little to be desired there. External cast wasn't great. The bodyguard was funny. I liked the bodyguard.
And the scenes with him and the bodyguard. And there's always that thing where you see this guy who's better than you and better than everyone else around him, and to see him play and be better than everyone else around him is exciting. His gadgets are cool.
His gadgets are very cool. But what I will definitely say is there is a scene where he's trying to be unknown, although everyone kind of knows him because he's this billionaire playboy that's just shown up again and everyone knows his face. It's all over the news. He grabs this villain, holds him up to his face and starts interrogating him. This guy's like, who are you? He wears a hood with a little bit of paint.
What? It's a superhero. Superman combs his hair?
Alright, Superman's a bad one. Superman's bad, but he doesn't grab people and interrogate them.
Yes, he does. He flies with them. He combs his hair. He takes pictures for the magazine, the Daily Planet.
The magazine.
The magazine that they do. Anyway, it's superhero.
That just slightly annoyed me. They could have found a different way to do that.
Will you keep watching?
I'll watch the next episode, for sure. I kind of want to see what happened with Deathstroke, and I know there's talks of Deadshot being in it.
I'm excited for some Lost-esque action.
I'm just excited to see the DC-ness come out of it, which is very cool.
Cool. So, there you have it. That is Arrow. We really hope you enjoyed our first week.
The first week, yeah.
Of our new show. We hope you will come back next week.
Tune in again.
And until then, we'll be seeing you.